Hello, and welcome to the WOW Talks. This is Dr. Leslie Hewitt, and I have joined the call. Thank you all so much for getting on this call in your very, very busy lives. I have tons of information to share with you tonight, and I'm going to open up the lines in about 30 minutes for questions and interaction. I want to hear how I can serve you better, so please stay on the call to share your ideas. First, let me remind you of the upcoming WOW conference that we are calling the WOW Talks Live event on Saturday, April 12th. Tickets are only $49 for a full day of speakers, and there is a VIP networking event with music, wine, networking, and appetizers for an additional $100. We will sell out, so be sure to get your tickets. And if you've got a pen, please take this down. It's www.thewowtalkslive.com. You can also get tickets at thewowtalks.com. And right now, both those pages are set up to get you into that event on April 12th. And then we will change the landing page to be a website. And I'm going to share more about that after the call. So I am Dr. Leslie Hewitt, CEO and founder of the WOW Talks, formerly the WOW Factor. I have committed my life to living on the edge, changing lives, and reminding you to find that magnificence within. I have found the grace of uncertainty to be the most compatible place to call in my highest purpose. And I harnessed a few secrets to well-being and balance while staying wildly passionate about everything I do. I want to share many concepts with you on this call. So my intention is you're going to get a ton of content here tonight. So just sit back and relax. Just to remind you, I will be calling upon experts in wellness, leadership, business, marketing, wealth building, and I will be asking authors, celebrities, and whistleblowers, along with local people with huge influence and authority, to join us to share their information with the WOW community. Although WOW began as a women wellness organization, I am excited to announce that men will be invited to join us at the next WOW Talks Live event on Saturday, April the 12th in Walnut Creek, at the very prestigious Dean Lesher Theater. I have more ideas being released within this next year that I will share at the end of the call. So just sit back, and we're going to get started now. What's in it for you to be on this call? I have information that I know will dip you deeply into your spiritual calling and innate wisdom. I'm convinced that people are in a heightened state of awareness right now, more than ever, looking for purpose and meaning. All of you are on the call because I know you want to tap into your higher purpose, and you're looking for opportunities to step up more with your businesses, your health, wellness, and lifestyle. Perhaps you have a burning business idea that you need a little push to pursue. Wherever you are on the continuum of discovering your purpose path, begin to use language that creates momentum. Begin to speak your truth with what I am calling the new glossary. On this call, you will hear tons of information that I hope will inspire you to live through the clarity of example and speak your truth, which, by the way, is the theme of this next WOW conference. Speak your truth. And trust that you are designed to create and express what I am calling ancient spirit technology. In fact, the entire next 30 minutes is going to educate you about your spirit technology. Are you ready? Sit back, enjoy, because what I'm going to be sharing with you is code. It's your code, and it's some pretty heavy-duty stuff that I want to share. I've been doing a lot of research, and I'm so excited to share this information on the call tonight. Here we go, full steam ahead. The science of today has confirmed that the atom is predominantly space. Max Planck made many contributions to physics in 1944 as the father of modern quantum science. That was 70 years ago, and we have not yet heard about it to its fullest potential in the Western world. His claim to fame rests on his role as the originator of quantum theory. This theory revolutionized human understanding of atomic and subatomic science. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity revolutionized the understanding of space and time. And together, Planck and Einstein constitute the fundamental theories of 20th century physics. Many cultures and societies around the world have been using what we think is 20th century physics, and yet there are scriptures that are thousands of years old sharing stories of the so-called modern science. There is a great secret known in the ancient monasteries in Tibet, Bolivia, Peru, the Andes Mountains, Egypt, and India. They all know there is an experience we can have in our bodies. Our Western science is covering this up. There are people around the world that are living and practicing this information. This call tonight is to remind you that you have this ancient knowledge too. It has been deliberately withheld from you. Let me share a couple of places where science got it wrong. Let's just get started there. Number one, the space in the atom that previously was considered empty is actually filled with a living essence. Number two, we have experiences in our bodies that influence the world through this space. Do I have your attention yet? Please stay on this call because what you are about to hear is the truth. I guarantee if you are a TV watcher, you are not getting the truth. There's something we can do in our lives that influences our physical body and also influences the physical world. This is a very different way to think, and there is a learning curve for some of you on the call here tonight. For example, not everyone wakes up every day and asks these questions. How will I impact the planet through my thoughts? What information do I feel deep within my being that amplifies the feelings of love? How can I express this in a business, in my health, and in the teachings to our future children? These thoughts are what I encourage you to use to begin to create your future. Everything you think today will enter the space in your cells. That is so key to this call. I want you to just remember everything you think today will enter the space in your cells. And yes, it determines the outcome of your health, your life, your relationships, and yes, your finances. This space within the atom has been called different things by great scientists of our day. Steve Hawking calls it God's mind, Bruce Lipton calls it the field, and Max Planck called it the matrix. The movie The Matrix is based on Max Planck's science. Jesus discussed this idea as the Holy Spirit. All religions describe this spirit-based technology. Many people that pray say they can affect change. For example, research on prayer has shown increased healing, and in fact, miraculous healings are unexplained by our Western scientific methods. The basis of our physical world and everything we see is the existence of an intelligent quantum matrix. Heart-based emotions such as love, forgiveness, and understanding change the electrical, magnetic fields in our lives and relationships. Did you know your heart is the most electrical, magnetic organ in your body? If you can change the field and your matrix, and remember I am now referring to the field and the matrix as the space around a cell, the space within a cell, your body, your family, your community, your intentions, and your choices. Did you know that the satellites circling the planet Earth that monitor magnetic and electrical energy spiked the day before 9/11? How is that possible? Believe me when I tell you this, you have the ability to change anything with your heart filled with love. The fact that the satellites were picking up our emotional response to 9/11 the day before the event suggests that our innate spirit technology is way more advanced than we think. In other words, your thoughts, emotions, and feelings can change the matrix that connects you to everything. Many of you get the magnitude of this. Are you leveraging this knowledge? Are you harnessing this through the clarity of your work, your daily rituals, and your well-being? Do you have very deliberate intentions with strategies that access this ancient spirit technology? Do you have impact and influence that changes lives or heals lives? This call is to remind you that you can consciously change the matrix in a much bigger way. The ancient texts also say that we can affect change in groups. That means we can create a collective consciousness that is strong enough to spike computers and graphs on satellite dishes. This is why the Wow Talk is so important to me. Join this community to participate fully so that you can affect change. I am so committed to this community and this conscious collective. I am absolutely sure that you are being called, as I am, to influence the planet, to change lives, and to heal hearts. This call is to encourage you to begin today on your purpose. Some of you are having intuitive inner guidance moments, and some of you are experiencing glimpses of the spirit technology. You are noticing how your thoughts are showing up around you. What if you could train yourself to use this God-given spiritual technology to manifest your dream life, and in so doing, you serve the planet with higher purpose? Indigenous tribes and cultures have been using this ancient human secret, and yet we have removed it from the Western world. We don't teach this to our kids in schools, and the medical model certainly will not benefit if you can heal without drugs or surgery. There is evidence all over the planet with the pyramids, Stonehenge, geoliths, megaliths, monoliths, cave drawings, and scriptures that remind us that something within us holds the key. There is a disconnect in our Western culture with this technology. So here is the connection for you to consider. Your thoughts are mirrored in your body. Your physical body is the physical picture of the non-physical person that you are. Let me repeat that, because that's an intense statement right there. Your physical body is the physical picture of the non-physical person that you are. Remember, there are quantum possibilities. We have all heard about miracle healings. Despite the food you eat, the exercise you do or don't do, and all the healthy choices you could be living daily, you have an inner spirit technology that lives in each cell. Your trillions of cells are running this technology like a computer program. Okay, here's where I get concerned about you ignoring this technology. Western medicine says we need to pop pills and cut out tumors as if that will heal the underlying quantum thought, or the poor lifestyle choices, or the bad relationships we chronically choose, or the poor me victim mentality that has become rampant in our culture. We are missing the purpose of the symptom, or the achy muscles, or the irritable bowel syndrome, or the tumor. When you bombard the body's metabolic rate, you exceed your body's ability to manage stress. It's like plugging too many blow dryers and appliances into the outlets in one room in your house, and you blow out the electrical capacity. The The breaker switch flips off, right? Too many into the system blows breakers. And too much in your system can take your body to a place of stress. Your symptoms are your spirit technology. Begin to listen to your innate messengers. This is the message of the ancient spirit technology. If you are not at ease, you are in a state of dis-ease. That is your divine design. Then combine that with no money, a foreclosure, anger, frustration, fear, and disempowerment. And guess what you get? Your body is designed to give you messages. That is the purpose of your cells, your nerves, your organs. And guess what the pineal gland is? In ancient cultures, it is the third eye. It is your stargate, the portal to the divine, the quantum matrix, the collective consciousness, universal intelligence, your creativity, the other dimension, and each other. Stop medicating your messenger. Many of the ancient cultures and ancient texts talk of this innate guidance. It can be an intuitive idea, a gut feeling, a telepathic moment, a psychic sense, a beautiful idea, and yes, it can be a symptom. Many of you are causing interference in your nervous system with medications, and you are turning off this technology. Now, please keep in mind, I'm not telling everybody on the call to get off the drugs that you're on. Many of you are taking medications that have been recommended. So hear me loud and clear. I'm not saying get off your medications. I'm just reminding you that you do have a technology within, and I trust that you can go deep within some of the work that you need to do. The old-fashioned belief that you have to cope with stress doesn't acknowledge the deep truth that your body shares with you. Managing stress is not the answer either. Stress is your deepest innate alarm system. Stress amplifies powerful signals into the matrix. It is evident when someone is stressed. In fact, we have a common question we ask another person that appears stressed out. What's the matter? We notice matter when it sends out a signal of stress, right? The stress response radiates out to the room. In other words, a stressed person walks into the room and the room energy changes as a result. I want to share a new version of stress. When I personally get stressed, I thank my body for telling me. For me personally, stress is a sign that my life is expanded and I'm not keeping up. For example, tons of things always come my way. The opportunities are abound, and I have so many choices that it's exciting and expanding. It is up to me to be open, joyful, and flexible to withstand the personal growth. And it's not always good things all the time. There's always things coming to all of us at all the time. So it's a choice in that moment. Am I going to react from a place of joy, or am I going to react from a place of fear? Stress is good, so begin to leverage the innate emotional guidance. This is the system I am calling your spirit technology. We all have it. But Americans especially are accepting a medical and Western model that does not acknowledge this information that is carried within all of you. Here's just a little statistic. There's 7 billion people on the planet, and as Americans, we represent 300 million. We are 5%, only 5% of the world population, and we're using over 50% of the world pharmaceuticals. It's ridiculous. Next, let's talk about some tools to use. Many of you are using vision boards, affirmations, and journals. How are you applying these tools? Ancient traditions suggest you reach in with the power of the mind, lock it in to identify it, and then charge it with the power of emotion. When you create the love of that possibility, you launch it into the matrix and into the particle reality. quantum science experts say self-esteem and feelings have to charge the thought. In other words, allow the deepest part of you to express through your work, your words, and your ideas. Your self-esteem must be built on your higher purpose. You now have the knowledge that what you have to give is a spiritual offering. If it has no energy, it doesn't enter the quantum field. Here are some questions to invoke curiosity within you. How do you feel when you live throughout the day? Do you act as if your intentions have already happened? They happen quickly for some and not for others, so what's the difference? How do you create clarity, specificity, and personal feelings that express in your cells? How do you allow the truth to refer out to the planet? Where do you feel the things that you don't want? Should unwanted feelings be included in the intention process? How do you cut through your fears so they don't sabotage? What would your life look like if you thought only about what you wanted? Here are the answers. You have to train your brain to cut out the unwanted thoughts and feelings. Don't speak about things you don't want. Don't share stories that put negativity into your quantum field. Don't gossip, and do not play bad situations out in your mind. This takes time to clean up, so make a daily ritual to replace all negative thinking with positive ideas. I encourage you to be gentle and loving with yourself, and remember, this does take practice. This is where the tools of journaling and vision boards are helpful. Make it fun to play with your inner resources. Vision boards are accelerated cheat sheets for you to be continually reminded of your deepest heart's desires. Remember, it takes more than thought alone to amplify the field and create the sacred technology experience. The technology of divine, human, innate intelligence has three separate yet related things you must know. They are thought, feeling, and emotion. Let's go deeper into the feelings at a cellular level. And I've got about 5 more minutes here, and then I'm going to open up the line. Feelings, by definition, are the union of thought and emotion. Many feel there are only 2 primary emotions, love and the opposite of love, which could be said to be fear. You are either breathing love or fear into yourself, your relationships, your kids, and the quantum field. Fear can show up as sadness, depression, anger, frustration, or procrastination. A lack of money is a huge messenger if you consider money energy or divine compensation. Okay, now for my thoughts on momentum. Think about the root word of momentum. It is moment. Each moment contributes to the field. Think about the word ritual. All ancient cultures have sacred rituals. The power of rituals and momentum are sacred to the technology. It brings in moments that are rich. Many of you have shared with me that something is missing and you know there is more to this human experience. I want to remind you that everything you need is within. You need to know how to unlock the secret that has been hidden from you. You are hearing what I'm calling the new glossary, which is like code to unlock your inner guidance. Words like momentum, the field, the matrix, quantum theory, innate and universal intelligence, collaboration, divine compensation, amplifying prayer with heart-based ambition, trusting your inner guidance, intuition, and so on. Begin to manage your glossary daily. You have the ability to feel quantum particles in your bodies. The challenge is to make it more than an intellectual exercise. What is the force that takes this to the next level? Compassion and community is the key to this advanced technology. You have the ability to feel in your bodies the stuff that holds this universe together. When you take the stuff the world is made of, a particle of matter, then split the particle of matter and send it in different directions to different locations, they are still connected energetically. And I know you feel this in your relationships. It's amazing when we're in relationship with people, when they go off traveling, or if we're breaking up, or if we're getting into new communities, we can feel the connection of those other people and those particles. Here's a really cool research study. When half a particle was split, or let's say a particle was split in half, that's a better way to say it, the other half of the particle could feel it. Sometimes the other particle would feel the experience before the scientists stimulated the particle in the other location. What does this tell us? Once matter is physically joined, even when separate, the energy is still there. What if I told you that you are energetically connected to all that you need to do and whatever you want? You have the innate intelligence technology within you at a cellular level to tap into the universal intelligence, or what I've been calling the field or the quantum matrix. You get to express what you truly hold in your heart. We must transcend the limits and laws that we have been convinced of. We are more than the limits that we have been told. In each moment of our life, there is a reflected reality through actions, choices, and reactions of those around us. Let me ask you this. What is your fundamental belief about yourself? Do you allow your restlessness to be a blessing or a curse? Therein lies your momentum, the moments in your cells, the rituals being broadcast into the field, and your inner guidance. Wow. That's the tip of the iceberg. Big breath, everyone. I know I need a big breath. I've been just talking straight for 28 minutes. That's all I'm going to share tonight, but it gives you a glimpse into wow. And I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules. It truly is an honor for me to assist and serve you in your higher purpose. And the purpose of the call tonight was really just to remind you how intense your higher purpose is. It's huge, and you have all the technology that you need in one cell. The really cool thing is you have trillions of cells. It's like having trillions of dollars in the bank. You have trillions of cells with tons of ancient spirit technology. Okay, I'm going to ask you to all grab a pen, and I want you to write this down. If you haven't already gone to www.thewowtalkslive.com to get your early bird tickets, and it's The Wow Talks Live. You can also go to thewowtalks.com. The upcoming website will be available after the Wow Live event, and so that will be thewowtalks.com. Be sure to visit the website for brand new information. As I said, tonight's call is just a glimpse of what you're going to get on that new website. For example, we are creating a blog where you can interact. Wow calls monthly with guests that are expert in sales, marketing, spirituality, wellness, wealth building, being your own bank, client attraction, co-brand opportunities, nutrition, weight loss, healthcare, and so on. I'm inviting whistleblowers, celebrities, and authors to join us on the calls and to participate on the WOW stage as speakers and workshop gurus at our live event. So the April event is just going to be a full-day event. We do have a September event coming that will be a 2-day event with workshops. I did change the name of the business from the Wow Factor to the Wow Talks to inspire the vision to speak your truth and confess your greatness. I'm so happy with this new name. All the videos are now available at youtube.com/the Wow Talk. So I want you to really check everything that's the Wow Talks. And YouTube has all the previous speakers from all the previous WOW conferences. So be sure to go to youtube.com/the Wow Talk. And this upcoming event on April, all of those talks will be available on YouTube as well. invite everyone you know to visit the Wow Talks because I'm offering a free intentions program. There will be 3 modules I am calling Windows of Wisdom, which is another WOW acronym. Also, I've already created a free glossary program to introduce my new book called The New Glossary. It's a sneak peek into words that will raise your purpose and statements that you are all using that diminishes your purpose. So please get involved with WOW so I can serve you and assist you in serving more people with your products and services, and of course, with your heart space and your spirit technology. So I am going to open up the lines here in just a minute. Okay, I have unmuted the call, so it is open for questions. So does anyone on the call have a question to start the Q&A? So I've opened up the call. Does anyone have a question?
Yes, Leslie, hi, this is Diana.
Hi, Diana.
Hi. Do you have thoughts about when we say words like can't and don't and not?
Yes. And I'm a big believer that you want to start calling in what you want to create. It is my experience that a lot of people are using declarative language that does not serve them. And it's what has inspired the book, The New Glossary. It's what has inspired the tagline and theme for the WOW Talks, Speak Your Truth, because I think it's really important for all of us to start really harnessing our language. And I encourage people, if you hear yourself saying, I can't, I won't, there's a lot of other words like, well, I'll try. You know, trying is one of those psychological sabotaging words that stops us from doing it. So when you hear yourself say, I can't or I won't, start figuring out how you can create some momentum forward. And a little side note on that as well, sometimes you do have to say no. So you just have to check into your own body and that spirit technology I'm talking about. Check in with your body and see if there's a boundary that needs to be created, either with yourself or the people that you're in relationship, community, and partnership with. Thank you for the question. That's an awesome question.
You're welcome.
Do we have another question?
So, Leslie, this is Victoria Buckman.
Hi, Victoria. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for being on the call.
Oh, yes. I wouldn't miss it at all. I wanted to thank you for the reminder of, we have these trillions of cells within us that are, holograms to everything that we dream about and inspire to create and have in our lives. So just hearing that in a new way, in a little more of a scientific way, was really helpful for me.
Thank you. I love to think that as well. Whenever I run information through my body, so I want to share another concept with you. We all are in the technology age where I'm just going to mute just so I can talk here because I hear a lot of background. We're all in the technology age where we've got websites and we know Google has algorithms that come through our websites looking for AdWords and keywords, and it's based on those AdWords and keywords that bring our websites to the first page of search engines, and that's what SEO means, is search engine optimization. I want you to think about that as an analogy, that you have these trillions of cells in your body, and each of those cells has words in them. And universal intelligence, God, source, that big, huge quantum matrix out there, has an algorithm that is coming through your body and bouncing off your trillions of cells and your trillions of words. What words do you want to increase your optimization? What words do you want your cells speaking to each other? And what algorithms do you want running through your body so that you can leverage this ancient spirit technology? So, again, Victoria, thank you for bringing up those trillions of cells as a reminder to all of us that each of those cells are filled with words, and you want to be mindful of how you're leveraging those trillions of cells.
Wow, thank you.
Do we have another either comment, question? I'm also looking for, what do you want to hear at the WOW conference? We've already got our speakers picked for April, but we do have a 2-day event coming in September. So it is going to be in the Bay Area. We're still looking for a location. We're already selecting our speakers and our vendors. It's going to be fabulous. So that's the other thing that I'm open to hearing on this call today. Does anyone want to contribute, participate, or ask a question?
Leslie, it's Diana again.
Hi.
Okay. Do you have any shamans from other cultures coming? Have you thought about it?
Sorry, there's some static in the background. So if you are not asking a question, if you could kindly mute your phone. And sorry, Diana, could you ask that question again? I didn't hear it.
Yes. Do you have any shamans from other cultures coming?
Did you say shamans from other cultures?
Yes.
I haven't. Our first WOW conference, we did have 2 shamans. Have you been to one of the WOW conferences? So we did have 2 shamans at the first WOW conference, and they started the event with a ceremony. So I'm open to, ceremonies and really unique spirituality at the WOW conferences.
Excuse me, Leslie, this is Sandy Brainerd. I was listening on the website, and you've cut out several times, and I didn't hear anything that Victoria said.
Oh.
The website is not working well.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Who's the last speaker?
So Diana just spoke. And actually, I know why that happened, Sandy. I put everybody on mute because there was a lot of background. So I apologize for that.
Okay.
We've got a couple more minutes for questions if anyone else has questions or recommendations for WOW.
Hi, Leslie. It's Gina Kennepel.
Hi, Gina. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. This is such perfect information that everybody so needs, and I just really applaud you for being so bold as to put it out there, because it needs to be out there, and it needs to be in our everyday conversation. So I love this.
Well, thank you. And I feel the same way. I really want to remind people that there is God code in our cells. Our DNA are 2 strands of tons of information, and each cell has a set of DNA, which is quite remarkable. It's like the little program that's in the cells. And it's amazing that we're not hearing more about this. And I mentioned, Albert Einstein and Max Planck, who came up with some scientific theories 70 years ago, and we still are not including that information in our Western culture and our medical model. And a lot of you know that I still am a practicing doctor of chiropractic. And I've been in practice for 18 years now, and so many people are coming into my practice on tons of drugs. And what I have noticed over the years is people are getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And the common complaint every day in my practice is I can't sleep, I can't lose weight, and I'm in chronic pain. And they're on tons of medications. They're not coherent. They don't have congruency. Their relationships are falling apart. They're broke. And the pain syndrome has really opened up this conversation for me with my patients, because I'm hearing that they don't get that there's an ancient spirit technology in them. And the declarative language that they use is letting me know that they're not tapping in. They're using language that doesn't serve them or their families. They're declaring themselves to be sick, like a statement I hear almost every day, and certainly this time of year, is I always get sick this time of year. It's pollen season. Or, I always get sick this time of year. It's flu season. I want to remind you, there is no such thing as flu season and pollen season. There's spring, summer, fall, and winter. But we are in a Western medical model that has a cultural belief that sickness is in and drugs are the answer. And I am just really, really concerned that people are shutting off that spirit technology. They think popping pills and cutting organs out are going to resolve their syndromes or their beliefs. And I like to remind the patients in my practice there are 4 medicineless measurements of wellness, and the very first one is belief. So I'm busy all day long attempting to shift belief systems, because a lot of people, especially the people that watch a lot of TV, are getting brainwashed. They're following the scripts, and yes, there are scripts out there. Call it a conspiracy theory, but there are scripts that I hear come into my practice every single day, and it's not the truth. So belief, the second medicineless measurement of wellness is breath. Everybody that's stressed out is losing their breath. They come in, they have anxiety, they're frustrated, they're disempowered, they're in fear, and they're not breathing properly. And we've all heard the term deer in the headlights. Well, deer in the headlights is that breathless fear response. When we go into stress, we lose breath. Then there's movement, and that's where I think we've lost our reasoning and critical thinking on what healthy movement is. You can go for a walk. You can get on the floor and do some stretching. For people that are in wheelchairs or crutches or disabled, you can do movement sitting in a chair. And then the fourth medicineless measurement of wellness is nutrition. We have forgotten how to eat healthy, naturally, and organically. And it's simple. So I like to say simple is sustainable. Real fast food is a banana or an apple. That's the fast food you should be going for. Go for foods that are not genetically modified. You've got to be careful microwaving food. Be mindful of the plastic that you're using. And I like to remind my patients, you know this. It's just we're in a cultural belief system that is taking away our reasoning and critical thinking, and we're being brainwashed. So just to remind you, the four medicineless measurements of wellness are belief, breath, movement, and nutrition. And then there's those declarative statements. So be mindful of your words and thank you, Gina, for, really sharing that I'm speaking up, and I'm encouraging you all to speak up. I want you to speak up so loudly that I'm creating a book for you so that you can learn how to speak up with high vibration instead of some of the diminishing language that you've been using. So keep your eyes open. The new glossary will be hitting the book stands, and the new glossary is really just simple language. And I came up with the word glossary because it's one of those words we learned in first grade. So I want to remind everyone that our language is simple, it's sustainable, and we can use words that raise us up and raise each other up. And we've got to start using the language that taps into that spirit technology within each of us through compassion, community, loving language, healing, reaching out to each other, and you will leverage the universe. And there is a universal intelligence. It's been proven scientifically, and people that know the power of prayer have tapped into it. People that meditate know how to tap into it. There is an ancient spirit technology within all of us that we have forgotten how to leverage, and you can leverage it through language, through each other, through community. And it's interesting, I was watching a documentary last night, and they were talking about just the power of three in all the ancient texts, the three wise men, the third eye. There's a lot of references, and the point is we do better when we are working with each other as opposed to being lone wolves and hanging out by ourselves. And that is why WOW is so passionate to me, is I want to bring people together so we can start sharing this ancient technology with each other.
Leslie, can
Any
I add
other
something
questions?
to that?
Hi, Leslie, this is Trish Ferrari.
Hi, Trish. Thanks
How
for
you
joining
doing?
us.
You're welcome.
Good.
I just was wondering, is this going to, your talk tonight, are you going to have that available for us to plug into and have other people listen to after tonight?
I believe we are recording, so there will be an opportunity for you to listen to this again.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, I am going to wrap up unless there is any other comments, questions, or ideas that you would like to share.
I have a comment. This is Diana again.
Hi.
Hi. You were talking about the power of three, and I just wanted to mention that I was studying Gurdjieff several years ago, and he has a lot of theories about numbers. He started the Enneagram before it was in pop psychology, and he says that the power of three is that because right now we're in a dualistic society. It's black and white, me or you, this or that. And the power of three is a way to move forward by being able to have different points of view and a lot of other technology that I don't have time to talk about right now. But
right, and it is. It's the third alternative.
It's a great theory.
Yes. Thank you. And I hope to be bringing more of that to the WOW conference as well, because there's a lot of ancient technology that we're not using, with the stars and with numbers, and there's a lot of stuff that we can bring into WOW just to remind you that there's a lot of universal information that you can tap into. I'm going to end the call, and I just want to thank you all for getting on the call here tonight. We are going to be doing these calls monthly. I'm going to be inviting guests to join me so that you can listen to all the experts in all the different areas that we are so interested in learning more about. So make sure that you go to the wowtalkslive.com make sure you register. And the wowtalks.com, the website eventually will be up there, so we encourage you to get in now so that you can be invited to the calls, to the blog. We're looking for interaction. Be sure when you get on the Wow Talks that you register for the conference coming up on April 12th. We will sell out. The tickets are only $49. We strategically priced them so that you could get in there. We've got incredible speakers for the day, and when you get on that Wow Talks page, you'll see all the speakers. We have a fashion show. We have smoothies, music, entertainment, networking. We have some other magical surprises that we will have there for you. So it's $49 for the day of speakers, and it's $100 for the VIP party, which will be a networking event, and it'll be filled with a lot of magic. So make sure that you come to the conference, share WOW with everyone you know, and I'm going to end the call with just a simple little prayer. And my prayer is that you practice your spirit technology, you start confessing your greatness daily, and you inspire breath into each person through the language that you use. Namaste. The light in me sees the light in you, and I'll see you on the next call. Have a wonderful evening, and good night, everyone.